Hello everyone, today we're gonna discuss DevOps and its twin CICD. We're gonna start with an introduction to the concepts, then the benefits of using DevOps and CICD. We're gonna share some tools focusing on Git and Jenkins. We'll compare these stages along with sharing some challenges companies and big organizations can face while implementing DevOps. DevOps is a methodology that combines software development and IT operations to improve collaboration, efficiency, and quality of software delivery. The goal of DevOps is to shorten the development lifecycle while continuously delivering high quality software. CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery/deployment. It is a process for automating the build, testing, and deployment of software changes. With CI/CD, developers can integrate their code changes into a shared repository such as GitHub multiple times a day, and automated tests can then be run to ensure that the changes do not break the existing codebase. It's a great improvement on top of agile, which is also a great improvement on top of the classic software development lifecycle. Now, what are the benefits? DevOps and CI/CD can bring several benefits to your company. First, it allows for faster time to market by automating the entire software delivery process from A to Z. This means that developers can now release new features and bug fixes more frequently, leading to increased customer satisfaction. Secondly, DevOps and CI/CD can improve collaboration between development and operation teams. By breaking down the silos between these two teams, communication is improved and issues can be resolved more quickly. Lastly, DevOps and CI/CD can help reduce costs by identifying and fixing issues earlier in the development lifecycle. This reduces the need for costly rework and manual testing, leading to faster and more efficient delivery of software. The CI/CD stage involves developers frequently checking in their code into a repository where automated processes build and test the code to ensure it meets certain quality of standards. The goal is to identify and fix issues early in the development process. The CD stage, on the other hand, involves the continuous delivery or deployment of the software to various environments such as testing, staging, and eventually production environment. This stage involves automating the release process to reduce the risk of human error and ensure consistency in software development. During the testing phase, many tests can take place, such as unit integration, system acceptance, and even smoke test. Here are some of the famous tools used throughout the process. We can use Docker, TeamCity, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Bamboo, Circle CI. Here is a closer look on each tool compared to each CI/CD stage. There are several tools, as we said, each serving a specific purpose. Some popular tools include Git for version control, Jenkins for continuous integration, Docker for containerization, and Kubernetes for orchestration. Git is where everything starts. It's a distributed version control system that allows developers to collaborate on code changes and track revisions. Jenkins is a tool that automates the build, test, and deployment process. Docker is a platform that enables developers to create, deploy, and run applications in containers. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration platform that automates the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized application. The CI/CD process is programming language agnostic, so it doesn't matter what programming language you're using, Java, Python, PHP, you can still follow this process. Let's start with Git. A Git branch is a way to separate work in progress from the main codebase. It allows multiple developers to work on different features or bug fixes in parallel without affecting the main codebase. Branches are lightweight and can be easily created, merged, and deleted, making them ideal for daily development work. In a typical software development workflow, each developer will create his or her branch on their feature or bug fix. The branch is where they do work on their local machine and make commits to record their changes. Once the work is completed, the branch can be pushed to the centralized repository, reviewed and tested by other team members or team leader before being merged into the main codebase. This allows for easy collaboration and makes it possible to work on multiple tasks simultaneously. Using branches in this way can help keep the main codebase stable, reduce conflicts, and make it easier to revert changes at any time if necessary. Let's start with basic Git commands. First of all, you need to install Git from git-scm.com, whether you're on Windows or Mac. Next, you need to initialize a local repository or a local folder. So you go in there using git bash or command line and issue this command, git init, so that this repository now is Git enabled. Or you can actually clone a repository from GitHub or a remote repository using git clone command. On your computer, on the development machine, you have three stages or three environments, if you can say. You have the working directory, you have the staging environment, and you have the local repository. Usually, you need to add the changes that you commit from the working directory to the staging environment or staging directory on your machine. After that, you need to commit the changes to the local repository before pushing them to the central repository. Git status is a command that will show you local staging and repo changes. It will tell you that these are the changes that are still not added to the staging environment or staging directory, and these are the changes that have not been committed yet. Git log is a command that will show you previous commits. Git remote will configure local versus remote repository. So if you want to sync your local repository versus a central repository on GitHub, for example, you can use this command, and you can also use git remote -v to show the status of local versus remote repository. It's very important to link your development machine to a repository. You can check the GitHub documentation on how to link your machine to GitHub for ease of use. Now, after the changes have been committed locally, you need to push these changes from your local machine to the centralized repository. You can use that with the push command. Checkout is a command that will allow you to create branches. So if you want to create a branch that is not there, you can use git checkout -b future login. It will create the branch if it's not there. If you want to switch from the main branch to another branch name, you can use git checkout branch name, and it will automatically switch to the new branch. There are two concepts here, the push and the pull. The pull, where it's the last command here on the screen. And let's discuss them before moving to the next slide. The push command refers to pushing the data changes or the code change of the local repository content to a remote repository. So after a local repository has been modified, a push is executed to share the modifications with the remote team members. Now, pull command is used to fetch and merge changes from the remote repository to your local repository. The pull command is a combination of two commands, git fetch command and git merge command. Git fetch command downloads content from the required remote repository, while git merge command combines multiple sequences of commits into a single branch. A couple of more commands: git merge branch name. If you want to merge some branch name to the main code base on your local machine, you can use that. Git reset hard. If you want to reset the code to a previous commit, you can use that. And git tag is just a metadata just to tag the commits that you have performed. Jenkins is a popular open source automation server used for continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines. It enables software developers to build, test, and deploy their code automatically, reducing manual errors and increasing efficiency. Jenkins supports a wide array of plugins, which allows for the integration of various tools and technologies into a development process. It's very powerful. It also provides real-time feedback on code changes, bugs, or failed tests, can notify developers of the changes, help ensure software quality. By automating the code integration, testing, and delivery process, Jenkins promotes faster, more agile development and improvement in the overall software development lifecycle. What's the difference between integration, delivery, and deployment? Continuous integration is the practice of integrating code changes into a shared repository multiple times a day. Automated tests are run to ensure that changes do not break the existing codebase. Continuous delivery is the practice of automating the entire software delivery process, including building, testing, and deploying changes to production. Continuous deployment goes one step further and automatically deploys changes to production without human intervention. While CI and CD are commonly used practices, CD may not be suitable for all organizations, especially those with strict regulatory requirements or complex infrastructure. It is important to be careful while considering the risks and benefits of each approach before implementing them. And we're coming to the challenges in a while. Here is a quick depiction of the CI/CD pipeline. The development of code, the code commit, and the version control system is just like a cyclical thing that happens on your machine and the remote repository between you and your team members. Now, after the code is committed to the main branch or merged to the main branch, the automation can start by building, testing, and deploying to the staging, even to the production. Here is another angle from the architecture perspective. Usually you start with a pull request, you do the changes, and then you push these changes to a centralized repository. There, you can initiate automation using webhooks, such as GitHub, for example. You can use webhooks on GitHub to ask Jenkins to start the automation, such as building or testing, and even deploying these changes to any environment, such as staging or even production environment. Although DevOps and CI/CD can add lots of benefits, there are some challenges in implementing them. One of the biggest challenges is cultural resistance to change. DevOps requires a shift in mindset and a willingness to collaborate and share responsibility across teams. Another challenge is selecting the right tools and technologies. As you've seen, we have many. It can be difficult to choose the best tool for your organization and team. Additionally, integrating and configuring these tools can be quite complex and time-consuming. Finally, ensuring security compliance can also be a challenge. With frequent code changes and automated deployments, it is important to have robust security measures in place to prevent vulnerabilities and protect sensitive data. Thank you.